broadcasting in 2 different locations today. And we still have a few seconds before it's officially 12 o'clock. There we go. All right. The records are now open. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. We are going to be diving into the Akashic records today. And I don't do this every single week, but this week is going to be about presents, about gifts, about value that I can share with you, the incredible audience. Because without you, this doesn't happen. I never know what is going to come through from the Akash, from the realm of the ether, to support us here in Earth School today until you all join me and you are brave enough and vulnerable enough to talk about what is challenging in your life and allowing me the privilege and honor of being your oracle today, of tapping into the Akashic records and sharing with you the downloads and the insight that come in real time. So I really want to thank you all today. There are going to be presents for you after every single activation. So stay with me. Please say hello once you get here. And of course, let us know if you are tuning in for the first time. I see Mama in the house, Trish, Jim, so happy to have you all here. Say hello on Instagram too once you get here. Kathy, I see you. Thank you for letting us know where you're tuning in from. Yes, Kathy's definitely a regular because Kathy knows, and I didn't say today, but she already knows, that I love you to share where you are tuning in from, because the very first activation starts as we imagine these pinpoints of light illuminating all over our planet. We are connected in a grid of consciousness, and every single aha moment that drops in here for any one of us becomes illuminated for the rest of humanity. Okay, so we got St. Louis, Missouri, Newport, we've got Minnesota, we've got, Shell Baby's in the house. She's coming from Missouri to Oklahoma. I'm coming to you all from the high Sierras here in Reno, Nevada. Oh, got a couple Austins in the house. Right on. I'm super excited to be with you. All right, so remember, if you are a newbie, let us know that this is the first time you are tuning in. And let's dive in and take this amazing technology, the Akashic Records, for a spin. So for those of you who are familiar with the Akashic Records, with this space, go ahead and start typing in your questions. Any area of life where you feel challenged, where you feel stuck, where you are ready for shift and change, where you are ready for expansion, let us know. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to be able to get to every single question today, but that's okay. Just you asking the question will invite the intelligence to drop in your field. So it's your job to, after you ask the question, pay attention. Pay attention to your dreams, your thoughts, people who just talk to you on the street, a friend, maybe the intelligence will come through one of your kiddos. It doesn't matter really who the person is who delivers the intelligence. What I want you to experience is the magic of the Akash. And that is, as soon as you ask a question, the intelligence will come into your field. It will illuminate in your field in some way. Okay? Let's see. What else do I want you to know about the Akashic Records before we begin? If you are new and you've maybe only heard the term Akashic Records and don't really know what that is, or maybe you've never heard that term before, let me bring us all into the same classroom here together. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness where all information exists. Akash is a Sanskrit word. It means ether, and ether is primordial energy. And we can think of this realm of ether as a higher level of consciousness, and I talk about it as a higher level of consciousness. But I don't want you to think of it like up here, outside of our time-space reality. You can, and it does exist in a location known as 8th dimension space-time. And that location, when we think of it as rungs on a ladder, or we're moving up through the atmosphere and out into the galaxy, well, that's how humans tend to think of things, because we think of things as linear. We think of things in terms of hierarchy. Okay, but what I want you to think of in terms of today is vibrational frequency. So I want you to think of the Akashic Record existing in a higher or a finer vibrational frequency. All right, if this is KLT in the house, I love it. If this is making sense to you, send some love likes, hearts across the screen. I want to make sure, because I'm describing it in a way that's stretching the human mind. Because again, we think of things as linear, or we think of things as in hierarchy, as in higher or lower. I want you to think of this as a finer vibrational frequency. Because with this paradigm, when we think of it as a higher vibrational frequency, for me, it's easier to understand or imagine the Akash, or this field, is all around me. It's in this space. Okay, Akash is space. It's in this space all around me, and it is the technology, or it is the consciousness that is constantly communicating with you when you ask a question. Any question you ask, whether you think you're asking it in your mind, or maybe you even think that your mind is answering, the information or the intelligence that comes back into your awareness anytime you ask a question is truly originating from the Akashic field. And the more refined and more specific and more intentional that we begin to ask questions, the more profound the intelligence that comes back into our frequency fields. Okay? So we're constantly asking ourselves questions all the time. It's a lot of times it's what originates our thought flow. We ask a question of, how am I going to get through this day? And then intelligence begins to flow back into our mind. It flows back from the field. Now, this Akashic field that I talk about, it meets us right where we are. So if you are asking the question of, how am I going to get through this day? You can feel that there is a density, there's a frustration, there is an exhaustion, there is a ready to throw in the towel kind of energy coming up. Well, the Akashic field is going to meet you right where you are, feeding the intelligence back into your mind that matches that vibrational frequency of density, of frustration, of wanting to throw in the towel. So when we learn to tweak our questions, and if you ask a question today that needs a little bit of tweaking, I'll help you tweak it. There's definitely nuance to getting good at asking the questions. Okay, but as we begin to ask questions that take responsibility for what it is that we've created in our lives, when we begin to ask questions about how can I learn? What is here for me to learn in this situation? How can I grow and up-level and evolve as a human? How can I show up in more of my potentiality? Then the answers that come back into our awareness are extra profound. They are extra helpful. Okay, so we're going to play around with a little bit of those today. All right, yay, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle, you are definitely a regular here in this space. Thank you for letting me know that a slightly different explanation worked for you today. All right, let's start. Oh, Barbara Parker. Well, aren't you sweet? Thank you. All right, we're going to dive in for some questions now. Katie, I am stoked that you get to catch us live today too. Thank you for being here. All right, questions, guys. Let's bring in some questions. All right, here we go. Heather Jean Calkins has a question. What needs to shift within me to move forward? That is excellent. All right, Heather, so tapping in. And if anybody out there, if you feel like, oh, that would be a great question for me to know the answer to as well, then thank Heather, because she's asking for all of us. That's one thing that I didn't explain today either. And that is, if the question resonates with you, I want you to receive the answer. Okay, if the answer resonates with you, maybe you thought, I don't need to know the answer to that question. I know right where. I know what I need to do to move forward. But the answer that I channel in resonates with you, please know that that is for you. We are truly all one body, one mind here, even though we are showing up as unique expressions of the God, Goddess personality, but we are truly all one. So if you feel a resonance within your body, your mind, or your field, please know that this is for you. Okay? All right, so Heather, thank you so much for the vulnerability and asking about what needs to shift in your life to move forward. The first thing that the guides want to talk about today is coordinates, figuring out where you want to go, because the lessons that we are here to learn on the planet, we're going to learn them through whatever avenue we pick to express, to create, to know ourselves. Okay, that's one of the awesome things about coming to Earth School, is that you get to pick whatever you want, but you got to pick. So the first thing is making a solid choice, getting really clear on my forward movement. Where is that? What are the coordinates there? Because you want to begin to attune your frequency to, that's the direction I'm going. So maybe the direction you want to go is financial freedom. If that is a direction that any of you out there would love to experience, financial freedom, just type FF in the comments. And I'm going to be holding space for you over the course of this week. Okay? If having a loving, connected relationship is something that you feel like are your coordinates, or what you want to move towards, or what you want to move, Heather talked about moving forward. If a loving, connected relationship is what you were looking for, type, what would that be? LCR. I used to full on speak in acronyms with my roommates in college. MFPs were one of our favorite. That means my favorite pants. That means when you come home from class and you got an outfit like I got on today, and your pants are a little tight, you got to take off your tight pants, you got to put on your MFPs, which are my favorite pants. But if you put MFP in the comment, I'm not going to know how to hold space for you, okay? So if a loving, connected relationship is what you're looking for, I want you to type in LCR into the comments. And I don't want to spend a lot of time naming all the different possibilities of what is important for you in your life. So if you're not an FF or you're not an LCR, go ahead and type in the comments what you are. And you don't have to create acronyms. Go ahead and write it all the way out. I want you to name it. I want you to claim it. And I want to be able to hold space for you, that this comes into your frequency, into your awareness. Okay, so that's the first thing that anybody who out there who wants to move forward, or you want to experience something in your life, step one is get really clear on what it is that you want to experience. Okay, ooh, good one dropping in here. This was, so fun facts to know and tell about Emily. My teenage years were somewhat rough. The rebel, and oh my goodness, I'm reliving that karma with my teenage daughter. By the way, I get to relive those teenage years and learn and shift and show up really dynamically for her. And it's challenging. If you have teenagers out there, whether they're boys or girls, send some love like starts across the screen. Sending some special love out there for all you parents and grandparents of teenagers, all right? But when I was a teenager and having a particularly challenging time, I remember my dad put up, it wasn't even a poster, it was like a quote from Alice in Wonderland that he put up on my wall. And it talked about, let's see, Alice was in Wonderland and she was lost in Wonderland, not knowing how to get out. And so she comes across the Cheshire Cat or the Mad Hatter, one of the two, one of those two characters. She comes across and she says, "Excuse me, sir, but I'm lost. Can you tell me which way to go?" And the character says back to her, again, I can't remember if it's the cat or the Mad Hatter, but says back to her, "Well, that depends. Where is it that you want to go?" And she said, "Well, I don't much care where." And the character answered back, "Then it doesn't matter which way you go." So step one in moving forward in your life is getting really clear on where you want to go. All right, we want to start tapping on the third eye right now to bring in clarity. Actually, we're going to tap on the third eye and the heart simultaneously. Synchronize that tapping for a moment. What this is doing, it's awakening the vision, awakening possibility for you so that you can get clear. You can begin to see more clearly where you want to go. and tapping on the heart to release any areas where you have let go of the truth of who you are. Maybe you've been shamed into not going for your dreams. Okay, I remember when I was 19 and I decided to quit college and leave Missouri and move to Hollywood, where I was an actress for 20 years. I remember there were people in my life who told me, get your head out of the clouds, Emily. Tried to shame me into not going to Hollywood. Well, that didn't work. All right, but I share that story as an example for you all that we can experience being shamed out of what we really want in life. And so this tapping on the heart is calling up forgiveness, forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness of others who might have shamed you into letting go of what you really wanted to experience. And then the tapping on the third eye, we're using chakra points here. Chakras are energy vortexes in your body. Tapping on the third eye here to activate vision, higher vision. Okay. Deep breath in. Exhaling. Cool, and then the guides are just bringing into my awareness that tapping, the forgiveness, the releasing of the shame. That's what we needed to get out of the way, Heather, in order for us all to be able to move forward into what we wanted. That was awesome. I loved it. Everybody, please give Heather some love, likes, hearts across your screen. That felt really, really good to experience. All right, so first activation down. We're going to give away some prizes. All right, so what I would love to share with you all today, this prize is for everybody. I call them prizes, but you don't really have to do anything to win it, okay? It's like a present. First present that I want to give away for anybody who wants to receive this, and I tried to do this a couple of weeks ago and our technology was slightly broken. A lot of energy pulses through the Akashic Academy here, and so sometimes, a lot of times, we blow our technology, but this is back up and working again. So anybody who would love to experience activating their own magician archetype, okay, so in this lifetime right now that you are living, you have access to all of the archetypes. You have access to the magician, to the high priestess, to the hermit, to the jester. All of these different archetypes, we have access to harnessing the wisdom and the experience of each of these archetypes. We've lived them in past and future lives. And again, I'm using human terms there because past and future indicates a linearity. Did I make that word up? I love shows when I make up words. A linearity, because that's how humans work. We work in linearity. And the bigger truth is that all of these different lives, past lives, future lives, parallel lives, it's all happening all at once, all at the same time. So in this particular lifetime, because of where our, let's see, how do I want to say this? I'll say it two different ways. You agreed to show up and to incarnate in this particular time of human evolution because of the rapid expansion of consciousness that's happening on our planet. That rapid expansion of consciousness is happening based on where our solar system is moving through the universe, the precession of equinox, okay? Which has the Mayans were the ones who began to calculate how we were moving through the universe. And where we are aligning right now, our entire solar system is aligning. So if you are here on the planet right now, you cannot escape this, what I'm about to share with you, is that we are aligning to galactic center. And because we are in this direct flow of photonic light coming from galactic center, it's waking up our consciousness. Light is information. Everything is energy. You've heard me say this before. Sound is a particular frequency of energy that stores and transfers knowledge. Light particles do the same thing. So this massive awakening of our consciousness is happening based on the precession of the equinox, okay? How we are moving through the galaxy and where we are aligning in the galaxy right now. What it means to wake up and expand our consciousness is to remember the truth of who we are, and that is that our consciousness is not even local in this moment. We feel like we're very much here present in this moment. But the bigger truth is that our consciousness can extract and connect to, can vibrate in coherence with information anywhere in the galaxy, forward and backward through time. So what this means is the past lives that you have lived, or the future lives that you have lived, or the parallel lives that you are now living, depending on what paradigm makes the most sense to you. People talk about the oversoul and how the oversoul has 12 different connection points all throughout the time-space continuum. I don't care what paradigm you're using. What I want you to understand is that your consciousness has access to intelligence outside of your now experience, which is why you can tap in to the different archetypes. And the magician is a very, very important archetype for all humans right now, because we have a lot of energy to transmute, to shift, to change. And yes, globally, we have a lot of work to do, but I promise you that work is done on the microcosm. You've probably heard, think globally, act locally. You don't even have to act locally in your community for this. Just magicianitize, magically shift and change and transmute anything in your personal life that is not working for you, that is not working for your family. Okay, so if you would like to receive the first free gift, type magician in the comments, and my team will circle back with you and make sure that we get you access to a training that will teach you how to access the archetype of the magician, so that you can begin transmuting anything that is dense, that is negative, that is challenging in your life, and you want to transmute that into a joyful experience. This training is going to show you how. So type magician in the comments. All right, that's the first question. Rock and roll. Question number 2. Diana Merkava Sunshine. Hello, you. Diana says, what can we do to step into self-actualization and ascension? Nice. All right, Diana. Well, of course, there's tons of things that we can do, but I want to ask the guides to share with us an idea that's simple, that we can focus on today to step into the self-actualization. Man, they're just... All right, I'll be honest. I wanted to get something totally new for you. They dropped it into my frequency right away. I'm like, nope, pass. Give me another one. They're like, nope, say that one. I just posted this on my Facebook timeline a couple posts ago. And that is, if you want to expand or activate your DNA, which that's basically what Diana's talking about here. As we activate our DNA, or we illuminate, or we turn on our DNA, which I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But as we turn on the DNA, that's where self-actualization and ascension happens. For every person, it's about illuminating the DNA. Scientists talk about 2 strands of DNA being activated. They say that we actually have 12 strands of DNA, and they call the other 10 strands junk. What my guides have shown me is that the second coming of Christ, or the second coming of Yeshua or Jesus, however you refer to him, the second coming of the Christed consciousness, energy, or intelligence happens not when this being or this avatar comes back from whatever point in the time-space continuum heaven is that he comes back. It's not when he comes back to the planet. It's when we all wake up to our own Christed consciousness within us. And that has to do with our DNA becoming activated. So those 10 strands of DNA that they say are junk, no. These 10 strands of DNA are connected to our multidimensional connection to, I'm going to use the R word. Y'all know I use this word loosely, reality. Video game simulation. Okay, we'll call it reality. I don't want to lose too many viewers. We'll call it reality. You feel more comfortable calling it a reality? I know, it feels very real. Okay? All right, so this idea of in this collective reality that we share, all of us waking up to our Christed consciousness potential and turning on our DNA means that we're going to be able to do some pretty incredible things that the human with only 2 strands of DNA can't do yet. And that does look like the amazing things that Yeshua did walking on the water, turning the water into wine, multiplying the loaves, raising people from the dead. But truly the next area to focus on waking up your DNA has to do with compassion, loving yourself more, loving other people more, breathing more deeply. So I'll just take some nice deep breaths together. Learning to use the technology. Unfortunately, I was going to grab my phone, but I'm actually up there. I'm broadcasting on it up there. We spend more time learning how to work the technology of our cell phones and apps. Maybe some of you are like gamers. We spend more time learning to work that technology than we do this technology. And our human body technology is the most amazing, fantastic masterpiece of consciousness, or I should say, the body is a vehicle for consciousness to know itself. So your consciousness comes into a human body because through your body and through your senses and through your experiences here on life, you learn about yourself. You learn about consciousness. This is the mechanism for consciousness to know itself. And it is the most spectacular creation ever thought up in our galaxy. And yet we spend more time learning how to work the technology of our phones and our computers than we do this technology. So I want you just to simply breathe with me. Diana, such a great question. All right, let's see. Let's work with the crown chakra up here. Crown chakra is about 12 to 15 inches up above the head. Okay, rub your hands together. Let's get a little energy, little friction moving in the hands. I want you to, we're going to build on what we were just talking about as well. So the magician energy, I want you all to feel your ability to work with energy and to move energy. So rub the hands together and then feel it? Okay. Good. I want you to know that you really are moving energy through your body. Okay? Then with the right hand, place the right hand up here. Got to duck down a little bit more for you guys on Facebook. Okay? About 12 to 15 inches above the head. And just begin to, my hand I'm noticing instinctually is moving in a clockwise position. If you feel, after what we're going to play, I was going to say, if you feel like moving in counterclockwise, ooh, that one doesn't feel as good to me. Instantly, I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm making myself dizzy. When I go back to clockwise, I'm like, yep, that's the right way for me. So notice what the right way is for you. Whether it's working with this crown energy in a clockwise motion or a counterclockwise motion. Excellent. And what we're doing is we are opening and we're creating a vortex of energy here in the crown chakra. The crown chakra is where we process our relationship with God, Goddess, unconditional love, superconscious intelligence. Whatever that intelligent force of love and creation is, whatever name you call it, we are clearing out and creating a vortex of energy of connection with that energy, with the God force energy, Goddess energy, okay? Good. And just gently turn the hand vertical and continue that motion, whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise, all the way down your body. There's a crystalline tube of light that runs up and down your spine. And so that vortex, that motion that we just made, cleared out your crystalline tube so that the energy from the God source, Goddess, unconditional love, so all of that energy can begin to flow through your being. Good. Diana, another thing that's coming through right now, and this is super important, is connection. Finding places like this sacred classroom that you get to join me in every Wednesday. Maybe there are other circles or gatherings in your community. Maybe there are other memberships or groups that you are already a part of. Get active in a community, a place of connection. We've got to have people around us supporting us and uplifting us as we go through this process. Ascension is not designed for you to go through alone. We are designed to deeply connect with each other as we are going through this process. So having connection in your life, if you do not have connection and that is something that you know that you are lacking, type connection in the comments. And I want to see to it that you get a touch point from myself, from my team this week, and you feel connected, you feel loved, you feel held. So important, hugely important. All right, Diana, let's give Diana some love, likes, hearts across the screen. That was awesome. I love it. All right, so the next present that I want to, oh, actually, hang on. This is a good one. Hang on, Katie. Katie just had a massive download. Yeah, Katie, I just had a massive download. Music Vision Global, clear on this? Yes. Nice. My question truly is anything in me needs clearing for this vision to manifest? Thank you, Katie. No, yes, the clearing that needed to come in was being ashamed of stepping into a role this big. Imposter syndrome coming up for you too, Katie. Anybody want to clear out imposter syndrome? Feels like a Native American guide coming in, doing that bit of a shaman kind of energy. If you are a regular here, I can guarantee you've never seen me do that one before. That was interesting. But I'll share with you, anybody else who feels like they want to use this, I feel like the guides are saying, tell them what you did and let everybody know, like, this is a technology, this is a medicine you can use. So basically, I was just making a fist and blowing. All right, let me get clear on what I did. So the guides are saying that it's important to open up that connection point in the crown chakra so that you can get the unconditional love energy flowing down. And then it's a blow, blowing the air in, and then moving the hand forward, and it's like a flick of the energy. So it's moving, whatever the shameful energy is, it's moving out. You're using that unconditional love that you're blowing in through the breath and moving it out. Okay? Cool. So continue to use that. Use that on your animals, your kids, yourself, your friends. And anybody who does choose to use that breath pattern, if you notice cool things happening with it, because again, it came in this moment. Not to say that I made that up and there's nobody else who blows into their hand and flicks the energy out of you. Maybe there is. And this is the first time that my guides have dropped that into the field. And so I invite you to play with it with me. It's technology. And let me know how things move and shift. Okay, yeah, Katie, thank you for letting us know that you had that download. Okay, how to show that when you guys have big movement that happens right here in real time, I want us all to celebrate with you. Everybody celebrate, by the way, with Katie. First of all, it takes a lot of courage to say, I just had a massive vision that will change the planet. Massive courage. Thank you, Katie. And every single one of us who are here right now, we're behind you. I'm speaking for everybody. Katie, we want to see this happen and this come into fruition for you. So thank you. That was awesome. Okay, back to present number 2. This one is going to go out to, and let me not say that first. Okay, hang on. Back up, take 2. Rewind. Okay, present number 2 is for those of you who are ready to learn to read the Akashic Records. You're ready to learn to tap in. Like, I'm giving you a tutorial where, actually it's not a tutorial today, I'm giving you a demo. That's what I'm giving you, is a demo. I'm giving you a demo of what it looks like when I tap into the Akashic Records and bring in channeled information, okay? It's going to look different for each one of you, but everybody has the ability to do this. So the second present that I want to offer you all today is a copy of the Akashic Records Handbook. It says workbook across it. It's all of the above. And this is going to go out to only the first 10 of you. Okay? So if you would like to receive the present today of the Akashic Records Handbook workbook, normally this is reserved for clients who dive into the Align training. Align is Learn to Read the Akashic Records Level 1. It's the complete beginner's training. And this workbook, this handbook, is a resource tool for the clients, the paying clients who dive into that training at $333. I'm going to gift you the workbook for free for the first 10 of you that type workbook in the comments. Okay? So that is present number 2. And we are going to dive in and take one more question. Notice I didn't say that we were going to be done in half an hour today. I decided I'm going to be on here with you as long as it takes to get through 3 really good questions together. Karen says, prizes are surprises. I love it. So we'll be here probably about 45 minutes from the start. All right. I find I need a little more time than 30 minutes because I love hanging out with you guys so much. Diana says, your starseed guides and supporting energies are channeling through you. Yes. All of your guides, I get to experience the energy and wisdom of all of your guides too. So thank you so much. Karen says I should start my own dictionary. Karen, I do have a made-up word glossary in my phone that when I do get around to publishing that first book, which, oh my goodness, I had a download come in this week about a book. Super excited about it. But whatever the first book is that does come through me, there is going to be a made-up word glossary in the back. All right, I want to grab one more question today. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to stand up here. Instagram. Got a couple Instagrammies here today. Anybody have, so happy to see you on Instagram. Thank you. Any questions coming in on Instagram? Let me know if you are joining on Instagram and you have a question, type it in the comments. And those are a little tougher for me to see. All right. It was the Cheshire Cat. Thank you, Jim. Doesn't matter which way you go. Jim, I love it when you're here because normally I forget a character or two in a story that I'm telling along the way. I forgot the guy who ran the mile in 4 minutes too, and you saved me on that one. So glad you're here. Give it up for Jim, everybody. It is a shamanic breath. It's the shamanic violet breath. Okay, cool. Thank you, Diana. Awesome. All righty here. Lost a loved one in July. Thank you, Denise. Whew. And I've had so many shifts in energy, feeling foggy. Any advice? Ooh, thank you for letting us be. Man, Denise, I feel the emotion washing over me really quickly. So first thing is just, Denise, I want you to feel the love and the support of everybody here. Everybody just send hearts through the comments right now for Denise. Whew, yeah, I can feel that you were close to this loved one because it's like, you know, I got a lump in my throat. All right, so first thing that the guides are wanting to say, Denise, is that as challenging as it is, remember that it's an illusion. Death is an illusion. And it's almost like I don't know if you've heard this before, or if, or why this is important or potent or pertinent to you, but it's like I'm in the other room. I'm in the other room. I'm in the other room. Maybe that was a way that you all communicated. Maybe that was something, I don't know. I don't know why that's coming up, but it feels like, let her know that it's like a confirmation energy. Okay? Yeah, I just feel like I want to cry. And I feel like that's important too, Denise, is just realizing that moving and shifting the energy through your body through tears. And I know that you've had a lot of tears, and sometimes it feels like you just can't cry them out anymore. But I feel the heartbreak. I feel the heartbreak. So continue to use the tears as a release mechanism to continue to move that energy out of the body. And this is part of the process. It's part of the process. The next thing that I feel, and this is almost like a shift from the guides talking to your loved one that you lost talking, and hear them talking to you in their voice. This will also help activate your clairaudience, your clear inner hearing, and to have this conversation back and forth. It was your brother. I always felt as if I could do telepathy with him. I never did ask him if it was happening to him too. Big release here. Yeah, thank you for letting us all be a part of it. Yeah, thank you for allowing us to hold you. In one sense, we're strangers. In one sense, we're all the same person, right? Whew. Okay, Denise, and now the next piece that's coming in, Heather, you lost your husband last week? Yeah, I know my mom can relate. It's your older brother and protector, Denise says. My mom lost her partner in June too. Okay, so all of us who have experienced loss, let's just work on, first of all, even though it feels really challenging, because again, we are in this human reality simulation that feels really solid and very real, and it feels like we've got loss and we've got grief, and it feels very much like, oh, that person is no longer here. Let's just all take a moment to acknowledge, yep, that's challenging, and we get to learn and invite forward the expansion of our consciousness, like Diana Merkaba Sunshine invited us to do. See, as we come in connectedness and love and vulnerability together, our consciousness expands. And let's invite forward the expansion of our consciousness so that we can understand beyond this time-space reality, beyond the rules of this life that we've been taught, which is that person is no longer here and they're buried and or cremated or XYZ, right? Let's just open up our consciousness to experience what has been very challenging for humans for eons and eons and eons to experience. And I say eons and eons and eons because I do feel that there have been civilizations on this planet where the collective consciousness of humans has been higher. We've had a fall from grace many times, from Atlantis and Lemuria, from ancient Egypt. These times in our society where we had access to more of our multidimensional skills. You all might have heard me say this before. The ancient Egyptians had 360 senses that worked. We have 5. We have more than 5, but we have our 5 physical senses that are allowing us to interpret the energy around us, which is why we have a much more limited perspective. So let's just invite forward an activation right now, the expansion of our consciousness, so that we can collectively experience a higher or a finer vibration of truth, of connection. Good, and the guides are letting me know that as we experience this letting down of our walls and this vulnerability of connection with each other here in this broadcast, that was the activation to open us up to experience that connection with our loved ones who are just in the other room. Whew. All right, grief can be incredibly challenging. I feel you all. And it's not just our loved ones that we grieve. We grieve the loss of our own innocence. We grieve XYZ, a million different things that we can grieve. But if you are in the grieving process in any metaphorical sense, any symbolic sense, in any state of your life, and you feel like you are ready to throw in the towel, I want to invite you into this last gift for today. Oops, hang on. Somebody's calling. Not now. We're on live. Uh-oh, hopefully we stay on live there on Instagram. Come on back. Okay, yes, we are. Great. And this is a gift that will be for the first 5 of you who respond. My schedule would be absolutely overwhelmed if I opened up this for every single person. But let me explain to you what's on my heart to share. And if you're ready to throw in the towel, this is a throw the towel back gift. And I can't take credit for this amazing name. This came from Suzanne Evans. But this throw the towel back, if you're ready to throw in the towel on life, I want to offer you a 15-minute session with me where we will lean into your Akashic records and we will determine the way of being that is creating this wanting to throw in the towel. And we will begin to shift that through your Akashic records, okay? The minimum package that I offer people in the Akashic records is a 2-session package. It's almost $1,700. It's worth every penny. And I wanted to share that with you because this 15-minute session, I wanted to give it a value point for you all. And if you break up that price point into by the minute, this is an over $200 value for this gift. So for the first 5 of you who are feeling like you need that kind of connection with me, type, hang on. Oh no, it's tit. Throw in the towel. TITT. Oh, just type tit in the comments. First 5 of you. Denise, thank you. I had no idea that was coming. Oh, it's so fun to see what comes up here in this face. Is my face red? Yep, it's a little red. Oh, well, that was fun. All right, that is going to be, I got to drop the mic after that. What else can I do after that? Oh, thank you all so much for being here. If this has served you today, if you have had a laugh, if you've had a cry, if you've had an aha moment here in this space, please share this out. The more of us that come together in this space and begin to have just raw moments of vulnerability and humanity and connection and open up our perspective to think about things in a new way, the faster our consciousness expands as a collective and the faster each one of us get to take our power back. We get to create a life of freedom, of love, and connection. And that's truly what it's all about. I love you all so, so much. Hey, I'm going to be in Miami, by the way, next week speaking. And I have a couple VIP tickets. So if any of you are in the Miami area or you want to fly to Miami and hang out, let me know. Might be just the adventure that your soul is calling for. All right. I love you all. I'll see you back here again next time.